Look, if the man is gone, I'm telling you, by the time you finish watching this video, you're gonna be like, whew, thank God that is gone. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chanel B. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, babe. Okay, listen, I was on my way out the door and I wanted to make this video because I feel like this video is going to really help a woman who has just gotten out of a relationship, they've been dumped, or you had to do the dumping. I wish that this was something that somebody would have told me. Had someone told me this information that I'm about to give to you, I would have gotten through my relationship heartache, I believe, a lot sooner than what I did. Baby, it took me a long time. I'm not gonna even sit here and cap with you. It took me a long time to get over my last ex. I'm gonna tell you right now, collectively, it probably took me anywhere between 2.5, maybe even 3 years to get over. Yeah, and I don't want you going through that. we need to expedite this process a little bit faster so that you can go on, get on with your life, because you better believe he has already moved on with his life. So I have 3 reasons as to why you should be getting over your ex very quickly if you were dumped, or if he started to see someone immediately. Whatever the reason may have been, they have given you, but then you see them pop out with like a new chick, or they got a new girlfriend or whatever. First things first is, I want to point this out. If someone left you and they said they didn't cheat on you, they haven't been seeing anybody else, they just want to move on because of whatever reason, right? And like real soon, like, and we know what soon like is, real soon, like they are being seen out with like a new person, or they just update a status that says they're in a relationship, or they make it very apparent they're in a relationship. Let me just tell you something. It's a strong possibility that they didn't just find this person right post breakup. It is a very big chance that this person is someone who they had been entertaining or talking to, or, you know, maybe just trying to figure things out with while y'all were still kind of in a committed relationship. So I don't want you to get like all bent out of shape about that, because this leads me into number 1. If you are having this issue, the first thing I want you to get right is I want you to get your mind right. You got to get your mind right. The reason you got to get your mind right is because your mind is first and your body gonna follow. Okay? It's not body, then mind. Sometimes it is. In some instances, like sometimes when it comes to that gym child, y'all, I be having to get my body there first and then my mind will follow. But when it comes to something like matters of the heart, your mind and your heart has to start almost making things make sense. You have to understand that that person is no longer your problem. Let me explain. When you were in your relationship, things were good. That was your boo. That was your man. Y'all did everything together. You didn't see him as a nuisance to your life. Like, you really saw him as the one, you know, you were going to lock it in, whatever the case may have been. Somebody who doesn't care enough to give appropriate enough space to allow you to move on. Let's say, especially if you guys are following each other, he knows that you're following him on socials and vice versa. He's following you on socials. I feel like there is a certain amount of respect that you still need to have, because you understand that you've hurt this woman's feelings or you hurt this man's feelings. And even if you are in a new relationship, there is just no adult reason why you should be displaying this person in front of your ex, especially if it's a genuine move on. Like, if you're genuinely moving on to this next person, there is no reason to be rubbing it in their face that early on, right? Y'all, let me tell you, when you have a man who has this type of personality, a lot of times you are not the first person, you're not the first victim that they've actually done this to. Like, you are probably one of many that they have already done this to. This is just a way of life for them. and you just got caught up in it because you became actually one of the women he decided to date or be with. So you just got caught up in that number. This is not a new, I want you to understand that this is not a new behavior for this person, okay? So I just want you to understand that this man is no longer your problem. He is someone else's problem, okay? Because just like he did you the way that he did you, you know, he's sneak dating people while y'all are together, or he's entertaining someone, you know, giving someone some false hope about where they're going, and they're still involved with you. He's trash, and the trash pretty much took itself out. And I want you to understand in your mind that has nothing to do with you. Like, the way he went about moving or the way he treated you is no reflection to who you are as a person. You are not ugly. You are very beautiful. You are not stupid. You're very smart. You, even if you're not where you want to be, you're still working towards it. Like, you are a woman, so you deserve respect off of rip. So don't allow what he's done to internalize in your mind and start making you think that you're not beautiful, you're not attractive, he doesn't like you, you got too much weight on you, you got too little weight on you. Listen, Linda, that is not his first time doing some sleazeball like that. You just need to understand that you got caught up in it. But now that you know that you got caught up in it, you can pull yourself right on back out. And guess what? That number one thing to remember in your mind is that problem, because that boy is a nuisance at this point, that problem is no longer your problem. It is the new girl's problem. So congratulations, sis. You just moved on. For reason number 2, I should say, why you should not be in your feels because someone else has decided to move on or leave you just high and dry, whatever the case may have been. We can put so many different spins to it. Is because, y'all, listen, when someone wants you, when someone really wants you in their lives, they're going to do all they can to ensure that you have that place in their lives. As soon as a person stops doing that and their focus goes on the next woman or the next person, let me tell you something. You have to look at that as God protecting you. First of all, God protecting you, but you also have to look at it as your chance to glow up. Let me tell you why. I don't care, like, good relationships, bad relationships, mediocre relationships. This is one thing that I know that I've dealt with, and I know a lot of y'all can attest to this. As soon as you start dating somebody, as soon as you start being in a relationship with someone, what ends up happening is their lives start becoming your lives, and you kind of do this like morph thing. I know women usually do it. Like, men will still go out and have their scheduled basketball dates with their friends and go out with coworkers and stuff like that. And women, I don't know why we get into this mode of, oh no, we want to be at home, we want to be where he can find us, we want to be accessible, this, that, and the third. But let me tell you, a lot of times why men are attracted to women is because some women, why they are attracted to some women is because these women ultimately, when they first met them, they had their own lives. You know, they were with their homegirls, they were going to the gym, they were taking care of themselves. And the moment that you stop doing that, it's almost like the attraction starts to fade and go away because you're not doing the things that you were doing before. So if this guy decides to dump you for whatever reason, he does you dirty, he doesn't do you dirty, is amicable, he cheats on you, whatever the case may be, you need to look at it as God's protection, but also the reason, the moment that you need to actually take all of this time that you have been given to him and all of this time that you've been given to the relationship, and guess what? Reclaim that time and put all of that back into you and start your glow up. Girl, get your skincare regimen on point. Go get your hair done. Girl, go get your hair done. Go get your nails done. Go get your feet done. If your money ain't where it needs to be, you need to be trying to find a job. You need to be trying to find side hustles. You need to be trying to create content for some brands. Whatever you need to do, you just got to do it. You got to get the money up, because it ain't nothing cute about not having no money and you heartbroken. Heartbroken and broke don't even go together. This is why I believe that women, even when you are in relationships, you still need to be getting to the bag, because When you get into the bag, even in your relationships, even if these men decide to leave you, you do still have your own life, your own money. And guess what? If you want to have a whole shopping spree week, you ain't hurting nobody. That sounds like some good therapy to me. You are able and you're in a space to go ahead and do that. So listen, the money is of high importance. Listen to what I'm telling you. The money is of high importance. Everything else is second to your livelihood. Everything else is second. Even your relationship is second to how you go about taking care of yourself, which is your livelihood, which is your money. Okay. And last but not least, the third reason why you need not to be in your feelings if you got dumped is because, you probably never really liked him in the first place. Okay. I'm about to tell y'all something. Y'all I'm like, she's lying. She just saying that because, okay, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all some tea. So, my last little situation, I was dating a guy. Y'all, I was probably dating this guy on again, off again for like 3 years, two and a half, 3 years, okay? And I'm gonna tell you this. After like that third or fourth time we decided to get back and I decided to give him another chance, decided to break things off indefinitely this time around, I'm gonna just sit here and I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. I had to get real honest with myself. I was in a space where I was when I first met him, I was just getting out of a relationship with a guy who had proposed to me. But the relationship ended horribly. Like, we ended up getting to a bad fight. Girl, it was so bad. I met this guy in the club. He had been in my DMs for a while. Didn't even know he was in my DMs. Some DMs you can answer, but some DMs you need to just leave them right where they was. And I left him right where he was. But at that time when I met him in person, I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. My type, skinny, slim, tall. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Me, short, thick, curvy. I love that. So anyways, y'all, let's fast forward. After I met him, after we had this last breakup and I decided to break things off with him, and definitely, let me just tell you this. I had to have a hard look in the mirror at myself because, can I just tell y'all, I actually did not like him the way that I thought I did. A lot of times we cling to people, especially if they're giving us a hard time, because like human beings, I think we naturally want what we can't have. It seems like it's a competition for us. It seems like it's just like this quest for love kind of thing. With men, it should be just like that for men. Women shouldn't be questing for no love. But unfortunately, we do get to the point where we get a little desperate and we start questing for love. And I really believe that, like, after a while, the guy kind of like lost interest. But I saw he was losing interest, and instead of me saying, "Oh, okay, well, bye," I just kept like, feeding into it, and it became like a chasing, like the gazelle was chasing the lion. It was supposed to be the other way around. And after everything was all said and done, and I started journaling more and going to like my therapy sessions and going to my life coach sessions and talking with close friends and family, I realized that I really didn't like him as much as I did. He was very convenient at the time. And then not only that, this is going to sound so bad, but he really wasn't like the ideal person that I would like marry and be happy about being married with, because like the guy I was dating, he really didn't have anything. And I'm not saying that a guy needs to be absolutely rich for me to date them, but let me tell you something that I've learned at my big grown age at 33. You can go ahead and date you a man who's financially challenged, who don't love God, and who can't manage their money if you want to. But I'm gonna tell you right now, that is not the safest bet. Like, I literally met this dude when he had a mattress on the floor, and it wasn't even so much like he was grinding, because I could see if I had met me a dude who had a mattress on the floor, but he was like busting and grinding. This guy was not doing that. This guy smoked like a chimney, And like he was messing around with other girls. Like, so he didn't even have any morals. He didn't have no integrity. He just wasn't a man. He was kind of like a little boy in a sense. And I was almost taking a mommy role. Like I was very nurturing, very loving, and he was like the combative child almost. And I think I fell in love with the attention that it gave me. I fell in love with it because at the time I was like in between insurance jobs, but I kind of know I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. And it was just like a bunch of different things. And it all boiled down to, I just had the time and I just had the opportunity to really like indulge in that situation. But it wasn't something that I was super happy about. I was super proud about, or else I wouldn't have left it as many times as I did. But a lot of times, girl, you don't be liking these men the way you think you do. It's just that, sis, you are bored. You are bored, okay? And you don't have enough to do. You know, you got a mediocre job that doesn't require a whole lot of neurons. A mediocre job where you feel like you're not gonna move up at, or where you can't move up at. And you probably don't have a good group of girlfriends who are doing really, really awesome. And you know, this is a thing, like when you have that much time, they always say, like my grandma always used to say, like, idle times, devil's workshop. She wasn't lying about that, because the more time I had on my hands, the more time I was able to give to this specific person. Whether it was good energy, whether it was negative energy, I had the time, I had the space, I had the opportunity. Had I been doing what I'm doing right now, like, you know, living my life as like a content, like trying to become a content creator and trying to model and do all these different types of things, I would probably have less and less time to indulge in the foolishness of my ex and more time doing what I love to do. And then, like I said, on the flip side, as I mentioned a reason before, a lot of times we don't. Like, we get sidetracked. I've seen it happen to the best of them. Women get sidetracked as soon as they get a man. You know, they get sidetracked as soon as they get a man, unless that man is on like the same page as them, and that man is a boss, just like the girl is a boss, and they have kind of like somewhat the same schedule. They can hold each other accountable and things like that. If you got one man who is not as bossy, or who is not doing as much, or doesn't have as much responsibility as the girl boss, who has a lot going on, she's just thriving, hair blowing in the wind. Eventually, if that girl falls in love with that man, if he's a scrub, eventually she's gonna kind of start walking that scrub pathway. You know what I'm saying? Unless she has a very strong mind and she's very like laser focused. A lot of women are not like that. A lot of women, you know, spend a lot of time with their men, and they become their men. So I really just hope that this message fell on the right ears. I just was thinking to myself that if I was from the outside looking in, I would want somebody to make a video on the reasons why I should not be caring. I should not be caring this hard, this much about someone who decided to up and leave me, especially if they decided to up and leave you for somebody else. That's never cool, okay? If they weren't grown enough or adult enough or mature enough or had enough respect for themselves and for you to tell you like, hey, I'm gonna gracefully bow out, and I'm gonna tell you the reasons, because you know, me and you've been connected for X amount of years, and I think I owe you at least that much. Yeah, y'all, I'm telling you, it's a done deal, and you should be proud about it. You should be happy for it. I know initially you're gonna be grieving and you're gonna be sad, you're gonna have a lot of questions, but let me tell you something. In hindsight, I promise you, it was God's protection. You don't feel it right now, but you're gonna feel it. Keep healing, and you're gonna eventually feel it. All right, guys. Well, if you love this video and you want more of these, go ahead, make sure you comment down below. I'm so happy you decided to stop by. My name is Chanel B. Thank you so much for coming, and